You're listening to Swingology, a lifestyle podcast. Swingology is for adult entertainment only, and we're not licensed professionals. Our show features adult themes, language, and descriptions of sexual acts and desires. If you're under 18, this is not the show for you. The ideas and opinions expressed are those of the speaker only and not of any company or entity, and should not be considered professional advice. Now, let's stimulate your mind. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Swingology, a lifestyle podcast. We are your host, Tori Kist.
And Steve Kist.
And today, our episode is a little bit different than normal. We're going to have a conversation. So to get started, I'm going to rewind all the way back to when I first started in the lifestyle. You've already heard my first swinging experience, but let's talk about what happened after that. So after my first swinging experience, we started going on double dates with different couples, and some we vibed with and some we didn't vibe with. I remember there was one couple that we vibed with them, and I was excited to have another experience. On the way back to our home, because we were leaving the restaurant and we were going to go to our place to play. So on the way back to our place to play, I started to get nauseous and I was ignoring it. And my heart started to beat faster, and I just tried to ignore it until I got sweaty and felt like I was going to get sick. And Steve pulled over to the side of the road and I literally vomited. And I was so embarrassed and sick. And Steve was such an amazing gentleman. He walked over to the couple, because they were following behind us in the car, and explained, it's just not going to happen today.
Yeah, so of course they watch us pull over and they watch my wife vomit out the side of the car. And I didn't know why she was vomiting at the time. We had alcohol, and we tried some hops. We tried some different, we're not beer drinkers. And we had tried a few different kinds of beers.
Well, our date was at World of Beer, and so we all got one beer to try, something new. And so I had maybe half of it because I didn't like it. So by all my history, I was not drunk by any means, and I was not vomiting because of alcohol. I was vomiting because of my nerves. I was nervous. I was scared. This was my first experience outside of a swinger club. You know, when you're in a swinger club, you have that energy and that spicy, atmosphere. It just encourages behavior. And I wasn't in that situation. I was in the vanilla world at a double date, and we're going to our house, and my nerves got the best of me and I got sick. And Steve walked up to the car and just explained, I'm sorry, Tori's not feeling very well. We're not going to be able to do this. And we took a rain check, but that rain check was never fulfilled.
Yep. Wasn't that the couple where you were willing, but you weren't enthusiastic about him?
Okay, so I'm an asexual, and I was new at being a swinger. So I was getting used to the idea of sleeping with multiple people in the first place. So it's not like I was thirsty, because I'm not thirsty for anybody except for you.
Yeah, not even me sometimes, let's be honest.
Hey, no. So I wasn't going to take one for the team or anything. I don't really remember anything besides being willing and being surprised my body, had that experience, that reaction.
I remember one of the first few couples after that experience. We met them at Chili's. It was a firefighter, the husband was, and then we went back to a play location, I don't recall where, and you and the firefighter were having fireworks-worthy sex, and me and the other woman, that was kind of me taking one for the team, if anything.
She liked your cock, babe.
Yeah. I wasn't feeling that energy, but I was just so I just wanted my wife to have a positive experience.
I was your girlfriend at the time.
Okay. Yes. You were my girlfriend at the time, and I wanted you to have a positive experience. And so I was willing to fuck another woman. I mean, that sounds miserable, doesn't it? When I say it like that, it sounds terrible, right?
Okay, well, let me tell you the story from my memory. Yes, we met this couple at Chili's, and yes, he was a firefighter. He was also a grandpa. He was 63 years old and looked great for his age.
Yeah, you couldn't tell by looking at this guy that he looked over 40, to be honest with you. This guy looked great.
But age didn't scare me. I was all about vibing. And, you know, the vibe was there. He wasn't pushy at all. He was very respectful, and that's exactly what I look for. And so we go back to, it was your apartment at the time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And so we're playing on the bed, and it's like amazing energy. The firefighter knows exactly what to do, and he's, you know, throwing my body around in all the best fun ways, and it's just so enjoyable. And you keep making eye contact with me with a smile on your face. And the wife of the guy kept screaming because she was a screamer in the bedroom. I wasn't quite used to that. Eventually, I got up to go get some water, and the firefighter followed me into the kitchen, and then he picked me up, and you happened to look out of your bedroom at that time and saw me being picked up, and he carried me to the guest room, and he fucked me in there really good. You were listening from the other room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
While you were fucking his wife, and hearing me moan and all the excitement totally helped you with your play experience.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is about hearing you play in the other room. Like, if I can see you or I can't see you, it's just very arousing for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was also a first for us. We've always been in the same room at that point.
With the very few experiences that we had.
So, I fucked a grandpa.
That wasn't the last one you fucked.
Who else did I fuck that was a grandpa?
Oh, come on.
I don't remember.
Oh, please.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
What about that guy, that super, super old guy at Hito that you let finger you?
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't fuck me, though.
No, he didn't fuck you. But you still let him play with you.
I mean, when the owner of Hitoism in Jamaica wants to finger you, you'll let him finger you.
Do you, though?
I do.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want.
It's the fucking owner of Hitoism. Let him have his happiness.
Babe, there's got to have been plenty of people that you've played with that have children that have children.
As far as I know, that was the only grandpa that I fucked.
What about that house party at I'm not going to say names.
Oh.
That night when...
That one guy.
The one guy, yeah.
I don't know that he's a grandpa.
I'm sure he is.
Okay, fine. That's two grandpas I fucked. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of grandpa fucking, let's talk about grandma fucking. And so I've already mentioned the swinger fail stories, and my swinger fail story at... Did I say the name of the place?
No, you didn't. I think you just said lifestyle establishment. We were at a particular lifestyle establishment where you could leave the doors open, but I didn't play with her, so why are we bringing this one up?
I was going to say, you almost had a grandma fucking experience. Do you think you fucked a grandma?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I have. Many times.
Many times.
I like older women. What do you want from me?
Yeah, but you're so young yourself.
Yeah.
So older women is 45. Sure. I mean, heck, I'm older than you.
I know. That's why we're married.
That's why we're married?
That's why we're married. Just because you're older. There's nothing else. No other attributes or benefits. When it comes to older women in general, they don't have to be grandmas. Not that I don't even care if they're grandmas. I just like older women in general because they tend to know what they want. And they have more confidence. It's that confidence that I find sexy, especially in the bedroom. Like, if you've got confidence, that's one of the best attributes I think a woman could have.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I like being, how do I want to word this? Less confident in the bedroom. Because when I'm less confident in the bedroom, the man I'm with, he has more confidence and he takes over. And I like a man who takes over. Right. So I feel like if I have less confidence in the bedroom, the man has to compensate.
Okay.
Maybe I just had a realization that if I had more confidence in the bedroom, which would be easy, I feel like it would be easy for me to do that. It's kind of like, hands, what do I do with this?
Well, I keep telling you over and over again, I've seen like this little spark come from you where you have these moments where you take control of the play with a guy, and I totally see this glimmer of dom, like a dominatrix type of personality, like kind of emerge from you.
Sounds like a pornography video, The Birth of the Dominatrix.
A little bit. And I remember like a couple men, you were frustrated with them because they were lackluster in the bedroom, and you were just so frustrated.
Yes.
That you just like, I think you choked the guy, you pushed his face into the pillow and said like, if you're not going to fuck me, then I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah, because someone needs to be dominant in my weird lizard brain.
And it wasn't him. So it was like,
Exactly.
if you could tap into your dominant power, I think you would enjoy that and enjoy that aspect of the lifestyle. I really do. I think that's a untapped thing for you.
You're not wrong. I probably would enjoy it. However, my hips don't like to be on top for very long.
You can be very dominant and not be on top.
How so?
What do you mean? So like...
Paint a picture. How am I going to be on bottom?
No. See, you're attributing position to dominance. That's not...
Somewhat.
That's not dominant. Dominance is all about attitude and confidence and
when I do that with you...
taking initiative.
And I'm on bottom, I'm just called a brat.
Yeah, you're a brat if you're a brat if the dom overpowers the brat, then you're just a brat. But if you become a brat and he submits to your brat, you just became dom.
Exactly.
Okay, so anytime you play with me, you're a brat because I always overpower that shit. Let's say we're having dinner at a couple's house and you want to engage in your domness, right? So we finish up dinner, everyone's vibing, we know we're going to go off and play. I and the other wife are already taking care of each other, doing our own little thing. And so you notice the husband starting to walk over towards maybe where we're at, and you stop him and say, "Where do you think you're going? I'm not over there. I'm over here. I need you to come with me now." And so you take him by the hand and take him into the other room or whatever, right?
Okay.
You feel like he's a sub energy and he's gonna do whatever you tell him to do.
So I would test the waters first.
No, you're not going to test the waters because testing the waters is bullshit. You're going to tell him what you want. Oh. And so you're going to say, "I don't want to have to take off my own pants. You take off my pants."
Okay.
And then while he's down there, you shove his face into your pussy. Right? Okay. And then to say, "Your face is going to sit there until you learn how to lick it the way I like."
Oh my God. I can't stand a man who can't lick it right.
Right. And so you're going to teach him how to do it because you're dom and you're going to be like, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it the way I like it. You take control over your own pleasure.
Okay.
I feel like because you have this asexual side of you, if you could manipulate the man to give you what you want, I think you would enjoy it.
I agree. Yeah, I want to try that. Let's schedule a double date.
A double date? We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
We stopped doing double dates at people's houses or restaurants because the chances of having a four-way vibe are really low, right? A lot of times I'll vibe with the wife or you won't vibe with the husband, or there's a couple times where you'll vibe with the husband and I won't vibe with the wife, or more often than not, they don't vibe with me.
I'd say half the time the lady doesn't even know what she's there for and the guy just wants to make out with me. That's an insult. I can't stand that.
Give me an example. Who?
Okay, well, we met a couple at Disney, at one of the Disney hotels.
Oh, Jesus.
And she hardly spoke our language. And we were there for probably 2 hours with drinks and hors d'oeuvres.
I remember that one.
And we went into this letting him know, well, I don't vibe with all the females. You know, I vibe with some females. And by the end of the date, he was like, "Well, do you vibe with her? Do you vibe with her? You should kiss her." And I was like, dude, she hardly talked to me.
Yeah, English was not her first language. She understood and spoke broken English, and the husband was doing a lot of the translating and talking for her.
How am I supposed to vibe with that?
And we had very much detail explained what we are both into and not into. And my wife isn't all that into playing with other women unless there's a vibe there. So it's like she's picky about it. It's not that she won't. And when she does, oh my gosh, like watch out. But when she chooses that woman and that woman chooses her, it's like fireworks.
Yep, because I've actually chosen a woman before and the woman was not bisexual at all. And that's okay.
This woman seemed like she was just his slave robot or whatever.
I think it was a cultural sort of lifestyle that, you know, she's very submissive to what her husband wants and she does it. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I wasn't quite vibing with. Anyway, we haven't done double dates in a while because of that.
Not because of that. It's mostly because half the time they don't show up.
Oh, that's another thing.
Jesus.
Half the time they don't show up. You're right. What's the deal with that? Okay, so this reminds me, back in the beginning, when we were trying the double date thing, we were at a bar waiting for the other couple to arrive.
Oh, yeah.
10 minutes, 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late. We're at 45 minutes late, and I tell Steve, "Hey, babe, if I was waiting for a date to date somebody, I would not be waiting around 45 minutes. Like, I would be gone by now. I think we should leave. We need to leave now. What does it say about us, first of all, waiting for 45 minutes?
So we left that place and we are both...
You were like, give me at least until 1 hour. I'm like, fine, we'll do 1 hour.
But when we left, we are both almost positive we saw the couple in the car. And then when we made eye contact with them, they pulled out real fast.
Yeah.
Like they were in the parking lot, but they couldn't get out of the car or whatever. They were having I'm sure it was some kind of like discussion. Mm-hmm. Maybe the husband planned the whole thing and the wife knew nothing about it. And then he was like, oh, by the way, we're about to go in there and meet this couple.
Who knows what the issue is?
Who knows? I'm just like...
But at that moment, that date, I decided, Steve, if we're going to do a double date with people, we're going on a date for ourselves. And if they show up, then great. If not, it's our date. So when we're done with our date, if they're not there, oh well.
Right. So that's a great idea or lesson or takeaway from our story. Don't go on a date with another couple and depend on that other couple for your evening. Just go for yourselves, you and your spouse, or you and your partner. Just go for you. If they show up, perfect. If they don't show up, you're going to make the best out of it either way.
Exactly.
Right? So don't get hung up.
So don't wait half an hour to order your beverages and food.
Right. Exactly. Don't sacrifice your evening waiting for someone else to show up that you've never met.
We actually, let me think about this. We had another double date with a couple. They told us, oh, we're running late. And we said, that's okay. We are putting in our food order now. Get here when you get here. Mm-hmm. And they showed up. We were in the middle of eating dinner, and then they ordered their food. Because what are we supposed to do? Sit around and wait? We tried that with a different couple, and you know what happened.
They did show up. They were late. It was genuine. I don't think we vibed with that couple.
We didn't. I remember this. We drove down quite a bit, like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's a positive, like a really good positive experience that you remember?
Actually with some besties of ours, and I'm not going to use names.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He's in the military, and he recently had to be deployed. And so before he was deployed, they invited us over for a sleepover, and we played games and we had drinks and we did lots of naughty things, and it was just fun. And I feel like that's my favorite because a positive experience, my favorite positive experience, because I can be who I truly am and they accept me for me and they can be who they truly are. It's like we've known each other for a few years now. We're so comfortable with each other. My finger has been in the guy's ass. I've licked his ass. Like, how close can we get? And so my favorite positive experience would be the last one that I had with them this past spring.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I do absolutely enjoy the casual comfort, no worry, no stress about the sexual experience. I just enjoy, like, their company and friendship, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the sex is nice and great, and
absolutely.
who wouldn't love about it? But, like, I just like hanging out with them.
Absolutely, but you asked me about play experience, and so that was my favorite.
I like just dominating the shit out of women. I feel like I'm gravitating towards that as I get older, and the more older I get, the more like I want to wreck a pretty girl's face, the more I want to tell her exactly what she has to do, the more I want to pin her in place and slap her around, throw her across the bedroom, to tell her who she has to fuck, that kind of stuff. Just like get sloppy, messy, dirty, and just use her like a theme park,
Yeah, that's definitely how our relationship started, right? I remember being thrown around and...
I think you kind of grew out of that a little bit. You kind of like, I'm a queen, you have to respect me. And you threw in little nuggets, and then I just followed the nuggets, and now we're at a point where, our sex is amazing. It's great chemistry, but I am not about to treat you like a dirty slave slut. That's not your style. You don't like that.
Yeah, I have grown out of that style. Now, do I like my face shoved into the pillow? Absolutely. Yes. I like to be pinned down. Yes. And a nice little pop, if I'm being bratty. Sure. But overall...
I'm not about to shove 4 fingers in your face, grab your jaw, and shake your head back and forth while I pound you.
No. No, please no.
Something else just recently came to mind. It wasn't that long ago. We hosted a little party, and it was at the 3-bedroom resort. A couple shows up. You basically, turned out for the night. I think you might have even left to take care of the dogs or whatever. And they wanted to have their first experience. And so we vibed with them at the country club for a little bit. I invited them to this gathering, not really thinking they would show up. And they did. They were late. They showed up at play had already begun with the other people and couples that were there.
Now, did you know that they had never had an experience before?
I knew that their experiences were limited. So, she hadn't ever played with a guy before.
Okay.
But he had played with other women.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
The other couples, there's an orgy going on. Eventually the orgy, people are getting kind of tired. It's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But this couple, they are for them, the evening just started and it's 2 a.m. and I'm full of energy. So I just, I try to give them a little bit of attention. The guy's this might seem a little weird, but it's my thing. Okay. And I'm like, all right, what? I'm nervous. What's about to happen? He blindfolds himself and he lays down in a bed and I'm supposed to play with his wife in the other bed.
Oh, that's hot.
He just listens to us play. I had so much fun dominating that girl in that bed. Oh my God. It was crazy. I would do that all the time. That would be amazing. That girl just let me do whatever I want.
Did she match
was
your
sloppy.
Energy?
She was dirty. She was super slutty. She loved to get messy. Sweat didn't bother her. She's great. That's just all around great slut person.
Question. Did she match your energy level or did she just accept your energy?
No, she tried to outdo it, actually.
That's
I kind of
hot.
like that.
Yeah.
So she was at one point, so I made her squirt. The husband really, really got off on it. She looks over at me over her shoulder and she goes, "Do it again." And so I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. I did. I made her squirt again. And she looks over at me, "Do it again." I was like, okay, this is kind of a thing now, isn't it? I remember her doing that 4 or 5, 6 times in a row. At some point, I'm like, no, I'm doing what I want now. I think that's when I picked her up and I was kind of fucking her from a standing position for a little bit. And then I kind of just tossed her onto the bed and just jumped on her.
That's an awesome memory. I wish I was there.
I mean, she didn't have to not be there.
Yeah, if I have a puppy at home, I gotta go take care of the puppy.
But there are some other house parties, love, that that we like to go to. Let's talk about one of those house parties.
So some friends of ours told us about a house party that they have visited a few times and they invited us along. This was a couple years ago. And so we went and it was incredible. There's this bachelor who has this huge mansion, big, beautiful pool and a hot tub. And he's on the HOA. So it's he can have extra cars parked out there and people aren't going to complain. When he throws a house party, it lasts all night long. He's got disco lights and laser lights on the ceiling, house music playing on the speakers. It's lots and lots of fun.
Multiple bedrooms to play in.
Multiple bedrooms, that's right.
Hot tub, pool.
Yeah. And so when we arrived the very first time going to this bachelor's house party, I was, is it smitten? Smitten, is that the word?
Sure.
I was smitten because he is a cutie patootie. Oh my gosh, he's older than me by probably a decade, but he's so cute. He's got this mystery sparkle in his eye and this grin that he's not fully grinning, but he's holding it back. It's wait, what's happening? So we had these flirtatious vibes going on when we first met, and that's super rare for me to experience. So he had my attention.
Mm-hmm. I love that energy you have, and every time we've been over there, he's had lots of friends or lots of people over, and they've all been, very experienced people in the lifestyle, and I've had amazing experiences with many of them. I remember going to one party, and I just kind of I think I was a little bit too tipsy on alcohol, but I just remember doing some things that I just kind of regret.
Regret?
Yeah.
That's a strong word.
I kind of regret. If I could go back in time, I would change how I conducted myself that evening.
Well, we know that...
It was, you know what it was? I was just being too thirsty.
Okay.
For play.
I do want to say that we both have grown since entering the lifestyle, and everyone listening to this podcast, you're going to grow. When you enter the lifestyle, you're not going to be the same person on day 100 as you are on day 1, and day 1,000 as you are on day 100. So hopefully you're all maturing and growing and understanding and evolving. And so my husband is talking about he went when he wasn't as evolved as he is now. He was a beginner
That's
Pokemon.
a very nice way to say it, babe. Thank you.
And so you are very respectful. And so I remember this situation. The woman whom we were friends with, you know, we've met them a few times and we went on a date with them also. She played with you and orgasmed on your cock a couple times, and you gave her a break, and time went by and you wanted to play some more, and so she was like, maybe later. Okay, maybe later. That's fine. Later came and you tried to flirt with her and she was like, maybe later, right?
Right.
And she should have used her words. Later is not what she meant. She meant she was done for the night, right?
What she meant was she was done playing with me, but she didn't know how to just say that. And so it was just later, and I kept reproaching her later, and that came off as thirsty. The way I just said it kind of makes it look like it's her fault, but honestly, I really should have just picked up the vibe that it was over, you know?
Right. It wasn't obvious to you at the time or to me at the time, because I'm all about protecting a girl. So if I had picked up on that, I would have been like, babe, no. But first of all, use our words. If you're done playing with someone, just tell them you're done for the night.
There's another experience where I was playing with a couple and I was starting to get like being dominant. I was, head into the pillow, dominating her a little bit. We had met this couple before. We played with them before. And the first time we played with them, she had an amazing experience. It was amazing with me because at the time, however many months there was in separation between our first play event and our second play event, she had told me that, she told me about her past and she doesn't like aggressive play. Months and months and months and years go by, or however long. And then we're at this party. She happily goes up into the room with me because we're going to have another amazing experience. And then I start to get a little rough with her.
Just to test the water?
No, not to test the water. I completely forgot.
Oh.
I completely forgot that
no.
she did not like the rough play.
Oops.
In my mind, that's how it was the first time. Now that I know, certainly it was not that way. It was just like slower, intimate, more passionate.
How did she respond to that?
She shut down. She shut down. She needed space. Of course, I apologized, after the fact. That's probably the only other experience that in the lifestyle that I regret. And as I just, that's a hard one for me to shake,
That's something to think about, though. Obviously, we all know that if you play with someone once, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to play with them again. But also, if time goes by between playing with people, or even if it doesn't even matter if time goes by, but boundaries change, rules change, people change, play styles change. Like the person that I am today is not the same person. I just said this. So my play style is different. Her play style may have changed or may have not had changed. So it's important. My point is to talk to people about what are you comfortable with, what are you not comfortable with before you play.
Right.
But sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, that's not sexy talk.
Right. And this is another thing where if she had just used her words in the moment, I think everything could have been averted.
Yeah, just don't pull my hair like that or something.
Right, or she just say, be more gentle with me, I'm a queen, or, something. But she kind of just went into, because of her past, she went into victim mode.
Oh, no. So looking at those two experiences.
They will change a person. How can you would have to be an evil, sadistic bastard if you didn't let those experiences change you, affect you, make you grow. Even people that I've played with before, I'll ask them like, oh, are you in the mood for some rough play today? Or sometimes what I'm doing now is I'll do something a little aggressive and I'll say, how did you like that? Do you like it if it were more aggressive? And I'll take their temperature during the play process. But that's just another reason why I like, finding our people. Mm-hmm. Being comfortable with them, and that way, once you know someone, like know them, then you don't have to do
the preliminary conversations.
Yeah, you don't have to check in with them. You
start
already
to
know
grow together.
What you like and what they like, and you guys, you just go at it.
Those are some lessons that you've learned. Let's have some positive talk.
Yes. So
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
In the last 12 months, name one of your favorite play experiences?
I mean, there's several. There's the experience we just talked about where I was with the couple and the husband kind of blindfolded himself. That was an amazing experience for me. There was one recently where I met a woman in her RV and we were going to do content. We did do content, but she was a sloppy, dirty, use me like a horror kind of girl, and I loved that energy.
So the cameras kind of got turned off.
Well,
hey, you're talking about content. Listeners want to know, when can they find it on your OnlyFans?
I'm about done editing that thing, so it'll get posted here maybe even tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, shameless plug. Let's continue this conversation. Let us know, what is your handle or @ symbol, your username on OnlyFans so people can find it.
@ Steve Kist. XXX.
STEVEKISTXXX.
Every play experience that I've had where you watch me play, I've always enjoyed those. I like it when you're like enthusiastic and you're like, yes, and then you're like, stick it in her, or you grab my cock and you like rub her pussy with it. I like when you get like really like involved, and like if you're into her as much as I am, I mean, that just makes it like a million times better.
For everybody.
Like, yeah. I like I kind of like the randomness of going to the country club. When we're there, we like to serve shots and drinks out of the room when we're there. So people will walk by, look at all the different themed rooms and that kind of thing. And when people walk by our room, we'll be like, hey, why don't you come in and have a shot? We get to know people. I kind of like the randomness of that. It's almost like an accelerated version of speed dating almost.
It's just like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm not one to like go to the club and then like dance with people at the club. It's too loud in there. You can't get to know anyone. And
I'd say we do that about a couple times a year if we go. Like, we check it out, and most of the time we walk out because it's too loud or too cold.
Yeah, we walk in, we might do a little dance, a little jig or something, and then we walk out within 5 minutes. That's our MO.
We have had some good times in there, but...
Sure, absolutely. If you could relive any experience again, what experience would that be?
Our honeymoon. Hands down. Our honeymoon was the best.
Okay. That's when we fucked
on the pool deck.
On the pool deck for like 5 hours straight in front of like 120 people dancing on it.
Well, maybe it wasn't 120 people because it was during COVID. So like 20 people. But yes.
Come on, at least 60. Don't be like 20 people.
They were 60 years old.
Oh, stop.
Something occurred to me. Your favorite memory of me in the lifestyle is walking into a room and seeing me up on a counter, arms going around this hunky man and my hands digging into his back, and you were not expecting to see that, and it was just amazingly hot, and you were immediately turned on. And in your memory, I'm being fucked on the counter. But in the actual real life, our pants were still on. And we were just making out, and I was taking off his shirt. And so I found it interesting that our memories will fill in the blanks that we forget.
Yeah, I still think you guys were fucking, but, it doesn't matter. I want you. In my memory, you guys are fucking, and I want that to be true. But like when I was retelling that story the other day to someone, my wife was like trying to correct me, like, no, we weren't playing on that counter. And I'm like, yes, you were. Don't tell me you weren't. How dare you? Shame on you. I remember waking up to you, to the sound of you playing.
Yes, that's right. So I remember you told me that you had a fantasy of waking up to the sound of me being fucked. And we happened to be sleeping over at our friend's house, and he started to fuck me right next to your sleeping body. It was like dawn, right when the sun is breaking over, like the sun's just coming up. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, Steve needs to wake up to this. So I was like, I started to moan, but you weren't waking up. So then I was able to touch you with my hands, and pinch your skin to wake you up.
You were pinching me hard to get me up. And I just remember opening my eyes and I'm like, oh, yeah, I love that. That's great.
Paint a picture. What was that like?
To be honest with you, I remember being dog dead tired and looking over and you were having sex and I'm like, oh, hi. How are you doing? You guys are having fun, but I'm also super tired, so you guys keep going. I just remember wanting to be in the moment and enjoy it so much, but I couldn't get past the sleep a little bit, so it was hard. It was a tough transition until, eventually I woke up, the endorphins or whatever kicked in, and I'm like, okay, I'm so turned on right now.
Yeah, that was hot.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. If you were talking to your future play partner right now, what does he need to know about you to have a chance with you?
I like to laugh, and it's hard to make me laugh.
It's incredibly easy to make you laugh.
For you.
I'm not funny.
To me, you are. Okay, so I like respect. I don't like to be pushed around and disrespected. I don't know. To me, it's what everyone else would like, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer this.
I think I can answer this better than you can.
Okay, what?
A message to my wife's future play partner. She wants to feel safe. That's her number one. So if you can engage her in genuine conversation, not appear thirsty, she's going to feel safe. She's going to want to engage you in further conversation. If you seem intelligent and smart, that's going to like pique her interest.
Yes.
Like that nerd part might come out a little bit. She likes that. So she likes the intelligence. She likes to feel safe. Once that barrier is broken and she feels safe with you, then she wants to be dominated. Not like a dom sub kind of situation, but she wants you to take charge, have confidence, and use her.
This is true. At the same time, I like to laugh.
Yes, of course, laughter is great for everybody. Everyone loves to laugh. But I remember a guy who you weren't into wanting to play at all. You were kind of shut down for the night. And a guy came up to you, sat down next to you, told you there wasn't going to be any play, and conversations occurred.
Okay, that guy. I remember. Okay, yes. I think we spoke about this on one of our previous episodes. We were at Trapeze, and we were done for the night. We had played for a couple hours, and you wanted to walk around and see if anyone was, needing an extra penis or something. I don't know what you were doing. And I was like, okay, well, I'm tired. I'm going to sit on this bed for a moment and just rest. And this guy walked around and asked me if I wanted some water. I was like, yeah, please. So he went up to the bar, got some water, brought it back, and he's just talking with me. And one thing led to another, and we started...
One thing led to another.
It's true. He was a total X-Men nerd, and we were just talking, and we weren't flirting, and our hands accidentally touched. It was a legit accident.
Whatever.
And I was like, oh... An
accidental touch in an orgy room. Let's just paint the picture here.
It seemed legit to me. And I noticed he was a single guy, and he was wearing a towel around his waist. And I was like, is it okay if I touch you? And he was like, yeah, it's okay. I'm here for you. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. And so I started rubbing his arm, and one thing led to another, and I found his thigh, and his penis was hard already. And
you had fun. Mm-hmm. You had fun. So that's what the future play partner needs to know, is that she's in it for the fun. She likes to feel safe. She likes to feel
but I'm not looking.
That you're not thirsty, And if you can kind of oops, what's this doing here? Then she's like, I don't know, but since it's there.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about hypothetical future play partners, what is your play partner, or rather, what should your future play partner know about you?
I want them to have a great positive experience. I want them to have a great time. So they need to use their words, tell me what they like. I can mold my play style to cater to them. If they want slow and passionate, I got you. If you want rough, I got you. If you want to be treated like a sex slave, I got you. I got all those bases covered. If you want me to play with you in front of your husband respectfully, I got it. If you want me to humiliate your husband while I'm playing with you and we have our own thing, I'm all about it. I just love the physical interaction with other women and
eye contact.
I like feeling like there's a little something there.
A little something there. You're talking about chemistry.
Yeah, a little sexual chemistry.
Okay.
Was there ever a time when you had an orgasm with a play partner at the same time?
You.
Not me. Other people.
Oh, no, never. I don't orgasms to cock very often.
But you have, though.
The only person is that guy who spanked me on day 2, and I didn't like it, and we haven't spoken since. The guy with the crooked cock.
Yeah. What about the guy from Texas?
I didn't orgasm on his cock. Are you talking about squirting or orgasm?
Let's go with squirting.
Okay. The bachelor from the house party.
Okay. So not that often. All right. Well, for some reason I thought there was just more more squirting experiences on cocks before. I guess not.
Not a lot, unless my memory's failing me too.
Well, I remember fucking you with a guy, and his cock was inside your pussy, as was mine, and he orgasmed, and that just caused me to orgasm, and we just fucking orgasmed inside you together.
Yes, that was hot. Was that in Cancun?
No.
Okay. I like the idea of your cocks rubbing up next to each other inside my...
I was totally focused on you, watching you, like, squirm in pleasure. You know, you had to take it. We were kind of like pinning you in place. And
I can take it.
That's another memory. Oh my God. The day when you got all brat with me and you're like, I remember putting my hand up on your throat and you were like, is that all you got? And so I kind of squeezed harder. You go, I thought you said you were a man. Or I don't remember what you said. But then I squeezed you really, really hard. Like you had antagonized me to choke the shit out of you.
I look at you square in the eyes.
You looked at me. You had veins bulging out of your head, right? Because like I'm like preventing you from not just breathing but blood flow to the brain, and you look at me with that brat face of yours and you go, I can still breathe. I can't. I'm not about to crush your trachea, so I guess you can breathe.
So I guess that night I was a dominatrix, or in a way I was doming you.
You bratted your way out of me choking you to sleep. Which I have done that before. Remember, we've done that a couple times.
Yeah, I don't like doing that.
Yeah, it's not.
We've done it planned, so I knew what to expect. I knew it was happening. But when I came to, I was like, I didn't like that. Let's not do that one again. It's been nice chatting with you, Steve, about our memory lane.
Memories are fun, you know. Always gonna talk about the good times and the bad times. And
do you want to do any homework this time? Was it just for shits and giggles and fun?
Yes. The homework you have this time is you need to discuss with your partner memories that you have that you absolutely love and memories that you want to repeat again.
Oh, and I want to add to that lessons you've learned since entering the lifestyle. It's good to remember what lessons we've learned. It's good to remember where we came from and then also be grateful for where we are.
And if you're not in the lifestyle, then lessons you've learned with your prior play partners.
Sure.
You know, think about those lessons and how they changed you and maybe what you like and don't like in the bedroom.
That's a good idea. Thanks, babe, for the homework assignment. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Swingology, a lifestyle podcast.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Until next time, stimulate your mind. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Swingology. I'm truly honored to have you as a listener. If you liked what you've heard, consider subscribing to our podcast or connecting with us on social media. The links can be found with the episode show notes. This is Tori Kist, reminding you to stimulate your mind.